Welcome back. And now we're about to begin our last section, which is some of our best practices in monitoring Logstash itself with that Elastic agent. So go ahead and click Start. But first things first, we have to start our Logstash as a service. So go ahead and hit Run. That starts the service. Good form, enable it so it starts at reboot, should it do that. And finally, we need to give it just a moment enough to see how Logstash is going and starting out. Run that status command. Go one more time. Okay, we can see our pipeline side. So it's a few moments from there, and you're out to the races. Next, we're going to change the output of one of our destinations. So we got this again. We're going to select our Logstash integration, our Logstash policy. Now we could do the entire policy. So every integration within there, you could specify to say go to Logstash. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do that specifically for our system integration. Within our system integration, and when we expand out the advanced options, here's where we can selectively choose which output we want to use. So this makes things really, really helpful if we have one policy, but we need to route data different ways to do different things. So we could use the right tool for the job. So in this case, we only want Logstash for our system integration. Go ahead and click Save Integration, Save and Deploy Changes. This will take a moment for that Elastic agent to take the change, apply it, and start sending out the data as necessary. But we can begin to see how our Logstash instance is performing by looking at some of the dashboards that are included. So with the Logstash single pipeline view, it'll take a few moments for data to start. So it looks like it just started kicking on, but we can see how our inputs are coming. Things are just starting to turn up the heat. There's our Elastic agent integration filter. So now how many events came in, how many events came out, how long it took per event, how much time it spent in the plugin, and so on. So we can easily get those metrics of how our Logstash is processing data, if there's any choke points or whatnot. But this is just one filter within this Logstash instance. So in this case, that's our output. But filters, what are we doing to massage that data to get into the form that we need? So now that we have all this and we have those cool instances, let's change our Logstash pipeline ever so slightly. So Logstash pipelines, that one Elastic agent that we have. And here we're going to apply a Logstash specific filter for enrichment. So we're going to replace our Elastic integration filter with this more verbiage one that's going to conditionally route just metrics if it's that particular data stream type. And it's going to do a lookup for the source field data stream dataset. And then it's going to write the field translate field name. If the data stream dataset is system disk IO, it's going to write this into that translated field name field. If it's not one of these, it's going to be everything else. So simply click copy. From here, select your entire filter section, which should be lines 12 through 20, and paste. And that will replace everything that's within there. And then we're going to create and deploy. Now update that Elastic agent to then parse through Logstash, which is then going through this updated pipeline. Take a few moments for it to kick on. But let's hop over to that single pipeline view. You can see that that's pretty much right where it's most likely going to be restarting. And this is why I changed the interval for which metrics are being collected instead of 30 seconds every 10 seconds. Still see our input. You only see that one filter thus far, but in a moment here, there's our translate filter. So now we know of all the system integration that's coming in, these are all the events, but how many are metrics and how many are going through that translate filter conditionally with it. Most of this should be metrics. Aha, 43, 43. Now that that's there, and as that data is running, we'll see more as it's flowing through. Let's hop over to Discover to look at where that data is being enriched to. We're going to use that metrics data stream index pattern. And then we're going to look for translated field name. So that's a new field that we just created. And now we can see here are all these values that are being created based off of that dictionary that we applied. But what if we didn't want to write that dictionary directly within our Logstash filter? We can actually create a YAML file and tell that translate filter to just look at that dictionary path and to create the field and value of whatever matches within a particular regex pattern. So this can be really handy if you have specific network zones, like in my example, where if anything is a 10.0.0.0 dot, it's infrastructure, but it's 10.0.10/24, it's in there, 10.0.20/24, it's laptops, it's tablets, and so on. So there's a lot of different ways that you can customize all that data and have it enriched right at the Logstash layer. So I hope you enjoyed this session and you learned quite a bit about using the right tool for the job, but where Logstash can easily have Elastic Agent data routed to it, parse that Logstash, do some more cool, fun things to it, and then ship it to a cluster. So thank you and happy searching.